Thank you for taking some time for yourself. And if you can take charge of your posture now, close your eyes and absorb into physical comfort. And if you can, take a deep breath in and a relaxing breath out as you run your way of relaxing. And I wonder if you can steer yourself into a deeper level of comfort. Shoulders relax, arms, legs, body relaxing. And I'm curious if you can oversee your chest rising and falling, aware of the chair supporting you, feet on the floor, allowing you to dominate this experience. And I trust you can call the shots when going a little deeper into this experience. And I really don't know the last time you gave yourself permission to leave life's disorganized chaos out there, to have some freedom here. And I'm not sure you're aware how special you are. You've managed to lower your heart rate, blood pressure, slow down your breathing without me asking that of you. That's how special you are. You make the world a better place. Thank you for being here. And in the past, you've been feeling stress, anxiety, or maybe you just dislike not knowing, or something else. And anyone in your situation would feel exactly the same. But it's got nothing to do with you. And there once was a time when you were very small, when you didn't know how to spell your name, say your name, the joy in asking how to do it, the excitement of practicing how to draw it, and asking again how to do it. And I really don't know if you would write your name at the bottom of a drawing with paint, crayon, or would write some of the letters backwards. But what I do know is there was once a time when you were very small, when you enjoyed not knowing. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you a few stories. And at first you might be thinking, why am I sharing with you these stories? But your subconscious mind will be listening. and do something wonderful for you a little later on. And in the opening of Stacey Schiff's book, Cleopatra Alive, who ruled Egypt for 22 years, she lost a kingdom and regained it. She nearly lost it again, amassed an empire and lost it all. A goddess as a child, a queen at the age of 18, a celebrity, an object of speculation, gossip, legend. And at the height of her power, she controlled the entire Mediterranean east coast. For a fleeting moment, she held the fate of the Western world. She had a child with a married man, and more with another. And yet somehow she's lodged herself into our imagination with one of the busiest afterlives in history. She has become an asteroid, video game, a cigarette, a slot machine, a strip club, and yet we have no idea of what she looked like. But she knew how to build a fleet, suppress an insurrection, control a currency, and alleviate a famine. She stood out to rule alone. She inherited a kingdom in decline, as her family had previously styled themselves as pharaohs. She was overshadowed by Rome, and could anything be good said about a woman who slept with the two most powerful men? Not when Rome controlled the narrative. And she came from a long line of murderers, and it was surprising how well behaved she was, considering Cleopatra's grandmother fought one civil war with her grandparents and another against her children. And no one suffered more than the monuments left behind. But yet no task was too small for Cleopatra. When she was exiled from Egypt, she had herself wrapped in carpet, smuggled into Rome, to meet with Caesar to discuss getting her throne back. And it reminds me of the famous basketball coach, John Wooden, who was the only man to be inducted into the Hall of Fame twice, would say something to his players like, "Sometimes you feel like you won the game, but the score says otherwise. And sometimes you feel like you didn't give it your all, and you win." And just like praise, Sometimes you're praised and you deserve it. And sometimes you're praised and you don't. Sometimes you're criticized and you deserve it. And sometimes you're criticized and you don't deserve it at all. And it reminds me of Quint Studer, who wrote Hardwiring Excellence. He created award-winning hospitals and integrated best practices and training across hundreds of organizations. For when he was a child, he had a rough time academically. He had a few special teachers that still believed in him. He couldn't talk very well due to a speech impediment, and he still couldn't read by the end of the second grade. And by the time he was 9 years old, he already knew he was a reject. He wasn't able to stay in his own class for the whole day. He had to get pulled out for speech therapy. But some of the best teachers would say he had energy, while all the others would say he was distracted. And even when he would play sport, if he would run up to the football, his coach would say, "Way to hustle, Quint," even if he wasn't able to kick the ball or catch it in some way. When he finished school and went to college, he got a GPA of 2.5. While all of the other guys in his class would have been killed for getting those kind of grades, his dad thought he was a rocket scientist for such a significant achievement. And as Ferdinand Foch, the French Allied Supreme Commander in World War I would say, the greatest force on earth is the human soul on fire. And it reminds me of business magnate Baron Sugar, former part owner of Tottenham Hotspur, reality TV host of The Apprentice. He is the 138th richest man in the United Kingdom, but he's a self-made man who can laugh at himself. And if you were to read one of his tweets, when asked about how he made his fortune, the answer is he bought car aerials for £1 and sold them for £1.20. Went on and bought more and sold them, and bought more and sold them, and also bought more and sold them, and bought more. And then his uncle died and left him £500 million. And once upon a time, there was that time when you enjoyed not knowing how to spell your name. Maybe you got really curious until you could control the crayon, pencil, paper, I wonder how you might need to feel in the future. Because the fact is, even if you had a crystal ball, no one really wants to know the football score before a game starts, or what the next song on the radio might be, or what the bride will wear on her big day. Because once upon a time, you enjoyed not knowing, and you cannot know, and you can enjoy not knowing again. Maybe the question is not what you need to know, but how you need to feel on the inside to know that everything will be okay. And that can happen right now, can't it? When you're ready to bring what you need back to your external world, you can stretch out, wriggle your fingers and toes, and open your eyes. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are.